Hi everybody and welcome to our Canva workshop today on the 8th of November 2025. My name is Natalie Thomas and I am the Founders District Public Relations Manager. So in today's workshop, we're going to be looking at the basics of Canva and really understanding where are all of the key functions and how we can use these tools to make some incredible posts for our Toastmasters clubs. The quick disclaimer that I am going to chuck in right at the start is I am going to be using the Canva Pro account. See, there is some definite differences between the Canva Pro account and the free account. One of the things that I am happy to explore and infiltrating the PRM network that I'm in is to see if I can find a future presenter who will solely talk about the free account because there's a lot of different functions on the pro account versus the free account. So Yvonne, I know that you've probably got quite a basic level. Tracy, I know because you're in the same club as me, that again, we're starting from basics. Madame Division C Director, how are you with Canva? Just so I can gauge what level to do the workshop. And Valanda, you're more than happy to pop your thing in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna go super basics. Okay, so let me share my screen a second. And if you've got any questions at all, feel free just to go, nah, haven't got a clue what you're talking about. Can you go over it again, or can you show me that a slightly different way? I am more than happy to do that because this session's basically to help you guys really understand Canva and make it work for you and your clubs. Right then, can everybody see my screen? Yep, fabulous. So if we ignore how busy the Canva account is, we have got in-person club officer training next weekend. So I'm busy in the background doing loads of epic Canva things. So one of the first things that I'm going to talk through is all of these different buttons. So we have obviously got the buttons down the side. So we've obviously got the home buttons, the project buttons, your template, your brand, Canva AI, and then we've got all of these different coloured buttons over on the top. One of the main buttons that 99.9% of the time you'll be using is the social media button. So when you click on that social media button, it gives you the option to look at those popular templates. So as you can see under popular, you've got your Facebook post and then you've got your Instagram story. Does everybody know the difference between a post and a story? If not, I can explain. So when you're on Facebook, and I've got my phone here and I will do a bit of a demonstration. So I don't know if we can see. Here's my Facebook. And right at the top of my Facebook, you've got these small squares. So these are classed as stories. So they are really short promotions that will pop up on the top of somebody's social media page. And they can be there for a really short time, but you can also schedule them so they can be reoccurring as well. And I think one of the things that I've noticed with the stories is if you've only got a short amount of time to go on social media, they're a really good way of getting your message across in a really quick format. So that is under the story template. Is this all making sense so far?
Uh, Nat, is it character limited or word limited?
In what respect?
How many letters can you do? How many characters or how many words can you put in the post
So
or story? Sorry.
for the story, let me go on one. If we bear with, I'm gonna find you a story that I've literally been doing for Lace. Bear with us 2 seconds. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is an example of a story that I've done promoting the in-person lace. So as long as you're staying within the size barrier,
Okay, so it's according to the size, whatever the
pretty,
size is. Yeah. Okay.
pretty much.
Okay.
But
I got
I've
it.
been mindful that I wouldn't want the font to be too small. So this is, I would say, quite an average size. So that one's there, for example, 65, and then these are 63, so mid-range. So visually, when you're seeing that, you can go, I can read it if you're in a rush and all of those things. So whilst we're on this specific story for Tracy and Yvonne, so this is generically what Canva looks like, no matter whether you're using the pro account or the free account. So on this top line here, we've got the toolbar. One of the things that we need to do, no matter what PR we do within Toastmasters, is we need to ensure that we are adhering to the brand. So the brand has specific fonts and colour. So as you can see here, this is the font that we have to use. One of the things that I do is if it comes up as say Canva Sans, I just change it to this Monstrat. And then when it comes to the text colour, we've got the Toastmaster brand colours here. So we've obviously got the blue, we've got the grey, we've got the yellow, the black, the white, and the marine red. One of the things that you can do if you haven't got the brand palette installed in to your Canva account is using these specific codes. So if I just show you with the reds, let me just write this down a second. Okay. Right, bear with. So right up at the top, you've got this little bar that it says try blue or hashtag whatever number. So I am going to put in 77, 24, 32, what gives me the Toastmaster red colour. So that is another way of ensuring that you are using the brand colours, and that's putting those numbers in. So if you were to go to Google and put in Toastmaster brand manual, it will appear. But what I can do as well is I'll make a list of everybody that has attended this session and I'll just email you the PDF straight away. It'll be a lot easier for you than finding it on Google. So I will do that for you all at the end. Tracy, how's this sounding so far because I don't want you or everyone to go, wow, this is information overload.
I normally don't post or do anything, so I'm just here to observe. So I don't go at my pace. I'm probably the very novice at this.
It's absolutely fine. As I have said to other PRs, and to be fair, when I've trained VPRs in the past, I've said to them 5 years ago before I joined Toastmasters, I had no idea what Canva even was. But then I've served as a VPR now for probably 5 years. It was one of the first roles that I took on, and I've just stayed doing it ever since because it's fun. I dodge VPE like a bullet because why not? VPR and PR is fun and games. And I think it's that whole process of learning, practicing, doing. I have created some absolutely shocking things that I look back on and I go, oh wow, okay. But then I think as I've just kept that practicing and playing around on Canva, I've gone, oh okay now. I'm getting into my stride. So what I would say, Tracy, is I've been at the beginning. I have been at the beginning where I had no idea what I was doing with Canva and the VPR role. So don't feel intimidated, but ask me questions as well, because where we're obviously in the same club, I'm more than happy to do some short little Canva training mini bits and bobs to help you as well. Yvonne?
What what I've seen right now, or what I came to mind, is basically the canvas when you start is white. So
Mhm,
we have to put the background first.
mhm,
So when we select, like, let's say that color,
mhm.
where does it say that that the canvas is going to be that color? Where do we put that?
So, like what I see, what I've just done now, I've just added a page. So this is the white background. So you've got one way of doing it is going to this multiple colourful circle. And then when you install the brand colours, you would then have that function of going, okay, I want a red background. So you press on the red, you get the red backgrounds.
Okay.
Like, say, for example, if you wanted the black one, you press on the black. And then yellow. The thing that I must stress with yellow, yellow is as a colour is only used as a filler inner. That's probably not the right word to use, but it's a filler in colour. It's not one of those primary colours that you need to use. So don't have yellow backgrounds. If you're going to have and use yellow, use the blue background and maybe have the yellow as the font. Angelina, you're on mute. Angelina, you're on mute.
Okay. Sorry about that. So what I've been told by someone from district, a PRM from District 100, he told me that we can say that yellow is not a primary color. So it can, it's not supposed to use it as yellow.
Mm.
And if it's a little, well, I have make a mistake because I love yellow, right? So I use it as a background, but like then after that I changed it. It's just
Mm.
not a primary color. Primary colors are
Mm.
any others on the brand. Like maybe does everybody aware of the brand menu? Maybe we could maybe at some point they can take a look at it too.
Mhm.
And they have all the numbers, they can like copy and paste and they
Yeah.
can get a better idea if you have time to read about it. It's yeah. Anyways, back to you.
Bless you. Thank you, Angelina. So, guys, I have one of my close-knit PRMs joining as well. So you're getting two for the price of one today. Two PRMs in the house. So the colours is definitely something just to be really mindful of. when you are creating your posts. So if I come out of the story and now go back to the main page, so on the left-hand side, you've obviously got your create, your home button, projects, template, and brand. What you're going to need to do once you've finished whatever you're doing, say for example on the story, is press the home button and then wait for it to work. And then it will take you back to that main home page. So as context, that was a story. But if I go back into the social media and click on Facebook posts, so generically, a lot of the promotions that we will do in clubs will 99.9% be Facebook. However, and I had to do this literally earlier on, and Angelina got my email, was if you're using multiple platforms to promote things on your club like LinkedIn, there's also different template sizes for those different platforms. So what you would do in that context is just write in LinkedIn, and it will then give you the different sizes for that specific platform. Because one of the things that is really important is whatever we're creating, we need to make sure it A, fits on the right template, and it is going to look right when that person's actually looking at that social media page. Because I have seen some of the posts that I have done on the wrong template size might be cut off if it's on the wrong template size for Instagram, for example. So I just want to mention that. So let's go into the Facebook post. Okay, so going back to what Yvonne was saying, you're always going to have your white blank canvas, no matter what you're starting with. And one of the things that I have found really beneficial over the last couple of months is using those templates. So within the Canva Pro account, there are hundreds of templates that you could use, but also use those templates for a bit of inspiration if you then wanted to create something that is your own work with a bit of inspiration from a template. So if we pop in the word event, so I've put in my word on the top, and then it is brought up loads of different templates. So we've got this one here that's just saying coming soon, and then we've got this one here, how to be successful. This one here. So depending on what you're promoting. So you might be promoting a generic club meeting. You might be promoting an open house. So you might then want to have a slightly different template. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this one here, is the how to be successful template. Obviously, the VPRs in us straight away are going to go, nah, that's not brand colours. We can change these colours, and what I am going to do is go step by step, taking this template into a brand, not solid, into an image which adheres to the Toastmaster brand colours and font. So one of the first things here, I'm just going to click on all of these different colours. So that is a matter of just clicking on the colour, going to the brand colour, clicking on it. And then you've got this function at the bottom that says change all. So if I click on the change all, if it's a similar shape, so we've obviously got the top shape and the bottom shape, it's going to automatically change that to the same colour. So then we have got obviously these shapes around there as well. So if we do the same, there we go. Perfect. Voila. So it is pretty simple when it comes to taking one of those templates and making it Toastmaster specific. When it comes to images, we have within the brand manual Toastmaster approved images that are available to use. One of the things that I have found, there isn't that many. So it's really important that if you are going to use Canva images, you make sure that they still have that professional feel to them. So for me, these 3 images, I would say, yeah, they are perfectly fine to use, especially if you think from an open house perspective or a workshop, you've got somebody that looks like they're presenting. So I would be like, let's keep them there. One of the things that you can also do when it comes to your own Canva accounts is uploading the brand kit. So we've obviously spoken about the colours and the font. We've also got the logos. So within the Toastmaster brand manual, we've got all of these different logos that you can use. This account's obviously got the logos from the 100-year anniversary, but we are now using Anton.
Just taking a step back.
Mhm.
For Canva free, can we also upload all these brands, the colors, the logos, the images? Or is it only available, the branding portion, only
So
available on the Pro
when
and Fiction portion?
it comes to the Canva free account, I know that you can upload 3 colours. I'm not sure of what else you can upload, but I know you can upload the 3 colours because I've had that conversation with Bruce and Sunny and I've shown them how to do it on their accounts. I would say when it comes to uploading, you'd probably be fine to upload these images, maybe what uploading 1 or 2, but I think one of the things that I am probably going to look at doing is getting a presenter to do a Canva workshop specifically tailored for the free account, because I think there's definitely those differences. And I think I can give everybody all of these different skills and bits of information, but I think it is just been really mindful of those caveats from the paid account. So when it comes to logos, we've obviously got, did that help, Anton?
Yes, it did. Thank you very much. I've been playing around with the free one for a bit, and I've noticed there seems to be a big difference between the Pro and the free one, obviously.
100%. And I believe you can still get Canva Pro accounts for
30 days.
non-profit. Oh, you
Oh,
can
okay.
you can either get it for non-profit, but I know like the different legislation in the different countries. You've obviously got the 30-day. If you are, say for example, really active as a club, you could speak to your PRM and go, help, can you help give us some extra templates, just so you're not being constrained with that free account, because I'm working with a club in Founders District at the minute and I've given them access to the Pro account as well, just because I didn't want them to be limited with what's available on that account versus the paid account. So if we come to logos, so we've got the main Toastmasters International logo. One of the things which is really important when working with the Toastmasters logo is make sure you don't squish it into a corner, because at the end of the day, we're representing this Toastmasters brand. So make sure wherever you're placing it, you give it enough space. So let me just show you this in principle a second. So for Yvonne and Tracy, what I've done, I have taken my logo and clicked on it. And then once I've clicked on it, you've got these little white buttons, you could say, in the corners. I have clicked on that, and that's how I'm able to move this specific logo around. And then I can use these little white dots to resize the image as well. And you'll also see that you've got the numbers. So we've obviously got the width 167, height 138. I don't really pay attention to the numbers half the time, but that's just a bit of extra context. So I'm happy with where my logo is sitting. So I'm now going to go back to my text, and I'm going to just chuck that up the top. So right now you can see that this text is coming up as League Spartian. So what I am going to do is click on that text. I'm going to go backspace and I'm going to get rid of it. And I am going to write in here, Canva workshop. Multiple ways of changing it. So I have just literally highlighted it, gone to that specific font, and I am scrolling down to my recently used, and I'm clicking on to Monstrat, and then that automatically changes that font to the right font that we need to use. And again, similar to the colours, there is a way of changing all of the font as well. So I'm just going to go change all. Is that all making sense? Because I feel like I'm half the time a woman on a race car. Yvonne and Tracy, are we happy with where we're at? Fabulous. So when it comes to font, we've obviously got, if you imagine Microsoft Word, you're going to have similar functions in Canva to what you would see on Word. So you've obviously got your bold, so you can make it bold. And then you've obviously got your italics. And then if you wanted to align it in the middle, you can go into the middle. If you want to go over to one side, you can go over to the other side, and then going back to the middle. And then we've obviously got these buttons over here called effects and animate. I'm not going to go too much into detail in the animate functions, but animate's really good if you're creating videos to promote things for your Toastmasters Club. If I jump back into effects, so as you can see at the moment, that font that I've just created has got no effects connected to it. So you've got your shadow and you've got your lift. These are the two that you're really only allowed to use. I have seen in the past some clubs using some of the other functions like that, but again, you really need to make sure that you are following brand standards. So that is only using your shadow and the lift. So if we get rid of this, Right. See, to literally get rid of something on a template is literally just click on it, and then you've got these little buttons here. So then you've got magic right comment. You can lock the position as well, and that is something which is really helpful if you're designing a graphic where there's a lot of things going on there. It can just lock it into position. So if I just give you an example, so I am clicking locked, that is now going to stay put. So if I wanted to move it, it won't move because you've now got this little locked button here. But if I wanted to unlock it, I just literally press the unlock and it'll unlock that. Let's pop you up there. Right. So it is very, very simple. You can put in some little elements. So these things here, what I've just clicked on, is classed as an element. So that is just enhancing what would be a very white and very basic background. It's just got that little bit extra that is now on that image. So to find elements, we're going to go back to the left-hand side, and then we're going to click on the Elements tab. And then you have got, similar to the Design tab, you've got this big text box. So if you wanted to find, we'll do an element, then you would write in whatever you wanted to find and press search. And then what will usually happen is you'll get different categories of things which will pop up. So we've obviously got the graphics tab, and then we've got the photos, we've got the frames, we've got the videos, mock-ups, audio. I'm not going to pay any attention to the bottom ones because they're not really relevant for now. But within the graphics, it's obviously only showing you the first four. So what you would do is press see all, and then it's going to give you all of those key images which it has found. One of the things using the Pro account is you will see this little crown image within the free account. Images that don't have the crown you can use in the free account, whereas if you're using an image or see an image that has got the crown, you're basically going to have to pay for that specific image. It might be a couple of dollars. So what I would say is, if you see Canva as something that is going to be beneficial to your club, and if your club still collects club dues, use the club dues to help pay for a Canva account, because there's other things that Canva can do that can be really beneficial to the club, but equally the members as well. So I am going to choose these dots. So I've literally just clicked on the dots and the dots have now appeared. But one of the things that I can do is change the colour of those dots. So again, I'm going to go back to my brand colours, press on the red, it changes them to the red. If I wanted to change them to the blue, I can change them to the blue. So super, super simple. Let's get rid of these. Is this all making sense so far? Are we all winning? Happy days. What I would say hi Scott, nice to see you again.
Hi, Natalie. Sorry I was late.
You're
I
absolutely
didn't
fine.
come right at 3 o'clock.
You're absolutely fine.
So when you were just going over the elements,
Hmm.
I don't necessarily use them as much as possible, especially for Toastmasters.
Hmm.
But given I have a free account, I know some of us might have pro accounts, and with that, that costs money for free accounts to use those items that have the crown on them. So I try to avoid those as much possible. But I just feel like even though I have a free account, those are like I just keep looking at the crown ones and I'm like,
Mm.
man, those might really make it. Those might really make the flyer pop. But
Hmm.
I have the free account, so I can't really do much about it.
It is, it's definitely a challenge. It is definitely a challenge. I know different districts have different ways of working. What I would say, so say in that example, Scott, if you were doing an open house for your club
Okay.
in District 86, I don't know, you could maybe speak to Chris and just go, Chris, look, have you got any other templates the district can help provide your club with that can, in a way, make those images pop? Because a lot of the times districts are going to have access to Canva Pro accounts. We are able to share those templates with clubs. So what I would say, Scott, have a conversation with Chris, your PRM, and just see what he's got available. If he doesn't really know what I'm going on about, is get Chris to drop me an email because obviously we were in the training earlier on together, and I will show him how to do the templates just so then you're able to create these images which really stand out. Because I think one of the things that I've seen over the last 12 months with Canva is Canva, social media, graphics, social media is getting so much better now that a lot of the times those images really need to make you go, I'm going to stop and look at that, because we've all got busy lives, we're all working, we're retired. We've only got that short amount of time when we're looking at these images to go, oh wow, that looks great. That visual or that image has made you go, I'm going to pay attention to this. I want to find out more about it. So, yeah. So, Scott, I'll pop my email in the chat. I'm happy to.
Yeah, if you have Chris's, can you pop his in the chat as well?
I don't know if I've got Chris's, but I just added him on LinkedIn. So,
Okay.
leave it with me.
Okay.
One of the things when it comes to just social media and graphics in general, and I know Anton has got used to this with me being in a different country, being part of a Canadian club, is when you are creating your fabulous flyers for your Toastmasters clubs, please put the time zone. It's my little plug. Pop the time zone on your flyer, because this training today was specifically marketed at 12 noon. That could have been 12 noon Eastern time for all we know. It could have been 12 noon in the UK. As an international organisation with members in different countries and the functions of a virtual environment, it is so, so important just to put that little bit of information just so your members know, oh, okay, it's at this time, I'm going to go and attend it. And this was what I did today in the PR training that I attended in District 86. I basically said the training's at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So we've got somebody from District 86 that has attended a session based in Founders District. So it's a simple, simple thing that does make a difference when you're trying to find new members, but also reach out to current Toastmasters that might be from different districts. I'm mindful we're at 43 minutes past the hour. Have we got any burning questions of anything that I have spoken about that I've shown you and you've gone, no, no, don't have a clue, or I've shown you something, or I've gone a little bit too fast that you'd like me to go over again?
I'll just like to add to something you said. If you're doing this internationally, make somebody checks out the language. Sometimes certain words don't mean exactly the same thing in a different part of the world. That's just a warning experience has taught me as well.
100%. And I think it's just those little things of, like, say, for example, when it was the 4th of July. So obviously PRM in an American district. I asked one of the past district directors and I basically said to her, I said, can you create the flyer? Because I'm from a different country. Culturally, I don't feel right to create that image. And I think especially in clubs that might have specific holidays that are really specific to the country and its people, I would always say to the members, could somebody else help? And I think that way as well, if you're then speaking to some of the other members, you're also able to upskill their knowledge when it comes to Canva as well. So thank you for that, Anton. Yvonne?
Yes, I just a clarification. So once we create, let's say, a flyer,
Mhm.
there is a process of approval because these flyers can be put in like in the Founders District.
Yes.
They can go on Facebook and other media sources, but do they all have to be approved?
Yes. So for the Founders District members we've got in this workshop, there's multiple ways we can do this. You can either send the image directly to me over email and I can upload it straight away to Facebook. Or if your club has got a club social media account, so say for you, Yvonne, if Holla Bilingual did the post, and as long as it was compliant to the brand, and I look at it and I go, yay, there is no bright pink or bright green on the image. When you've uploaded that to the member group, I just press approve and it gets shared straight away. Because one of the reasons why we specifically in Founders District have that approval process in place is we've had unwanted guests post unwanted things on the Facebook pages. So we've just got to have that little bit of extra security there that we're safeguarding the brand, but also the members. And a lot of the times as well, I see people posting for their own personal gain when realistically we're posting for the clubs and things like that. So if on either email me directly or post it through your specific group, and then I can approve it that way. If say for example Hollow Bilingual was having an open house, I can then put it on the Facebook page and I can put it in the newsletter as well. So there's multiple ways we can promote it using social media within the district. Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Super
Thank you.
duper. Super duper. Tracy, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You got any
Like,
questions?
yeah, no, I mean, I think I know I'm pretty seeing this. I probably I can create that. It's just when I was saying I don't do the Facebook and all that stuff. So that's a whole probably a different session on how to do all of that.
I think one of the things that I can do in that context is at our next club meeting, I'm not sure if I can attend it, mind you, is when we have the educational tip, we can specifically make that a PR tip. So then we could use that 10 minutes where I go, okay, we've got this image, let's put it on Facebook or let's put it on LinkedIn. So that might also be a way I can help you as well, Tracy, if that helps. Uh, write this down.
Yeah, I'm just social media illiterate. So
You're absolutely fine. It was so fun. Earlier on today, I went to my local church and I was chatting to this absolutely sweet chap. And I was saying about Facebook because I'd taken some pictures in church and he must have been in his 80s. And he was like, "What's Facebook?" And my heart was like, bless him. So it's absolutely fine. It is absolutely fine. And I think that this is something I think within the organization we have to be mindful of is we're all at different levels and we've got to be aware that what we might talk about day in, day out, somebody might go, I haven't a clue. So Tracy, leave it with me and we can use some Woodbridge time to really start understanding how to get the club on social media, Scott.
Yeah, and another thing about the time zone, you know, I always provide the Eastern time for my club because we always meet on a Thursday afternoon.
Hmm.
But lately, with other things, not Toastmaster related, but with other things, and it's kind of become stuck in my head now as a VPPR for Toastmasters.
Mm.
But I'm like, okay, I know when I need to be on for my time zone, but if I'm getting guests from across the world that may not be in the same time limit,
Mm.
should I consider putting that into the flyer so that anybody from anywhere knows, oh, okay, so I can plan around to see if I want to be a guest at this club's at this Maple Leaf Postmasters Club meeting, whether it be a contest for a guest or a regular meeting, a speech craft, a special, or maybe, I don't know if you want guests at your elections, but if you feel like doing that, maybe the guests might want to attend an election that, in this case, going off of what we were discussing earlier this morning or afternoon or whenever it was
Mm.
at the training, the club
Hmm.
officer roles, like the elections for the club officers.
Hmm. 100%. I'm just jumping in to my personal Zoom account that I use for, no worries, Angelina, for my advanced club, and I will literally show you an example. So this is for the advanced club in District 60. So I have got obviously time, time zone, and then the universal time code. So one of the things that I would say, if your club is really looking at broadening its reach, start to do a bit of reading around your universal time code, because that way people from the UK can go, oh, okay, so this is in Canada, for example, and then it just makes it even easier to get those potential new members and guests. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about is, this is a little bit more advanced. Tracy, I'll explain a little bit more in a Woodbridge meeting, and Yvonne, I'm more than happy to do the same. I'll come to a Hollow Bilingual Club one day. Is using QR codes. So when it comes to a QR code, is if you meet on Zoom, this is going to be where we use it, is taking that Zoom registration, sticking it in to, I use Tiny URL, and that is that function of taking the Zoom link and making it a specific QR code. So then what you would do, you'd get your phone and then you would go to your camera function. So you go to your camera function, and then I know you can't obviously see what I'm doing, but you're scanning that QR code, and that is then going to take you directly to that Zoom meeting. So that is another little trick that I've learned over the last couple of years. So I know we're getting very much up to the hour. Has anybody got any questions they would like to ask of them?
So is there a listing of what these Q and R codes are, or where do you get them? Do you just, where are they?
What I'll do, Yvonne, is I'm more than happy to create, I don't know, probably the next week or two, like a little lunch and learn session. I'll do it for maybe half an hour, and I will specifically talk about QR codes, if that helps, Yvonne.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yes, it does. Thank you.
wonderful. What they are. And Scott, the offer is there for you. And Anton, I'm more than happy to bring you guys along for another session, because I think with PR, there is so much to learn that sometimes you've got to break it into those baby chunks. And I think, having gone to the VPR training today, I look at it from my PRM perspective and I go, we could easily have another 3 hours talking about VPR stuff. Much as I think Scott would probably be like, no, an hour's fine. There's so much extra information that you can learn in the role as well. So, what are they?
Actually, to comment on that, you are right, Natalie. I probably would say no, but in the context of being a sports fan and handling stuff Toastmaster related, like I'll give you an example real quick.
Yeah, it's on.
So this morning, I like to tune into a spirited hockey talk show on a radio station that I listen to called 1059 DX, but knowing that I had training, I said, you know what? I will do I will do the training first, and then if I have time later, I'll listen to whatever that was. And if I have time in between training to before I go on another meeting, whether that's Toastmasters related or not, I will pick up the hockey game from there. And I like how it was in an afternoon game, but needless to say, and getting to the point, I would be more than happy to come to this lunch and learn that you were talking about.
Fabulous.
Even if it is virtual or in person or both, it doesn't matter to me.
Hi, Anton.
Um, the easiest it would be is virtual for me because I would need to know if it was in person, I would need to know where it is, and I would
Ab-
also need to know how to
Absolutely.
get there.
Sure. I think it's always going to be virtual because I live in the UK and my role as PRM is in the States. And much as I know Tracy and Yvonne would be like, yay, Nat's coming to America, I'd have to save a lot of money to get to the States at the minute. So all of my training sessions are going to be done virtually. Scott, I will have your email from the registration. When I set this up, I'll email you the registration link so you've got it, or feel free to follow Founders District on social media as well. And then that way you can find out about any other training events that we've got. So it's
Yeah, and I might consider checking out your club that you belong to. I might consider it.
Mhm. Why not? Absolutely. So, guys, it is 12:59. I like to stay to time. Thank you all for attending. And Yvonne and Tracy and Valanda, if you've got any questions PR related, just drop me an email or WhatsApp me. I honestly do not mind. I am here to help your clubs and you in your VPR roles succeed. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, guys.